holidays should be a time of relaxation and goodwill spent with family and friends. With a little strategy and a heightened awareness, we can keep our stress levels low and avoid conflict and avoid overindulgence. Welcome this morning, Brent Williams. He's with Iron Oak Fitness. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you today?
Fine, thank you so much.
Sweet.
Okay, you've got some strategies to help us get through the season because the truth is we can easily overindulge. We can get totally stressed out.
It's super easy. So one thing, people are always like, I'll just get back on my diet on Monday. Maybe just think about what you're doing while you're doing it. You don't have to do that all the time. It doesn't have to be hit or miss, right? And I feel like the holidays can be really enjoyable, or we can really go over edge and then feel bad about ourselves in January. So with a little strategy and a little thought, we can totally enjoy ourselves and then have sanity about it too.
Well, you say it really starts with the right mindset.
Totally.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I just mean that your thoughts are responsible for how you do everything. I mean, everything starts upstairs, right? So if you can wake up in the morning and have affirmations sound a little cheesy, but they actually really, really work. I mean, because if I have a thought and it matters to me and I'm conscious of it, then the rest of my day is going to play out in a way based in that base thought, right? So around this time of year, I think it's really important to kind of just remind yourself of that. I tend to keep quotes on my phone that I think are pretty great, and then you can also just write your stuff down, the things that are most important to you during the holiday season.
I know you don't mean that.
Yeah,
it says presents, and I know he doesn't mean that.
I'm just kidding, but really, I mean, maybe put a sticky note on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth, and just remind yourself. Like, I tend to need to calm down and slow down sometimes, and have more patience. So I remind myself that this holiday, I want to do that and be conscious and aware of what I'm doing, and
all right,
I can enjoy it.
That makes sense. Your next tip: knowing is half the battle.
Totally. So first thoughts, right, and then strategy, and then we can execute in a way that makes sense, like a plan. So my strategy for maintaining, because I love baked goods and like chicken pot pie and delicious things. So and they're everywhere all the time in the holidays. So if I am aware of my own limits and can place some strategy, then I'm not going to go overboard. So a guessing game is not a very good idea, I feel like, when it comes to calories. So my thoughts around that are, there are a couple of really easy things to use online. There's something called a BMR calculator. So
what is your BMR?
So BMR is a basal metabolic rate.
Okay.
So it's a base level metabolic rate. So it's going to tell me how many calories I need just throughout the day, every day, just to kind of survive and to maintain my weight. So if you are armed with that knowledge, then you know what you shouldn't go over, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So then you can plan. You're going to have chicken pot pie later, so I'll have a salad at lunch. Or
exactly. That's exactly my idea. So if you punch your numbers in, it's very, very easy to do, and then you can take this and use another app that's very helpful. It's also free, called MyFitnessPal, and it's fantastic. And then you can develop a strategy. So my strategy personally, because I do love those things, is to be very, very convenient with my nutrition. It's not just about the calories, it's the percentages of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And if you are armed with that knowledge, you're going to make really, really insightful decisions that are going to be good for yourself.
Okay.
So I like these shakes. They're very convenient. I like to have things that I can just toss in my bag. So this way, this is a shake that's going to give me plenty of protein, but it's only giving me 4 carbohydrates and very little fat.
Okay.
So if I consume these throughout the day, eat vegetables, eat light, then I know that if I'm going to go to a party that evening and things are going to be a little more dense as far as caloric intake goes, then I can really enjoy it and I haven't thrown my entire day.
That makes sense. And that kind of goes into your next point, which we've kind of touched on, but really to only go for the things that you love, that you really enjoyed. Sometimes, you're eating a cookie, you're like, this cookie's terrible, yet you still eat the whole thing.
Out. Yeah, totally. Right? Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, quality over quantity with all things. So if, there's a piece of pie and then there's like 14 cookies, you should just eat them all. No, not really. You shouldn't. You should, if you really want the pie, have it and just ignore this and just have a few things. You know what I mean? And really enjoy what you're eating instead of just going off the rails and eating it all. It's gonna get easier every day that you do that. And the next thing you know, you're establishing a lifestyle. And this is a really good time of year to try because it's a harder time.
It's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. So don't eat the 14. Don't eat the 14 cookies that are just okay.
Right.
Eat the piece of pie that you love.
And enjoy every bite of it.
If you like to drink alcohol, you say maybe skip on the wine and the beer, the things that are full of sugar and calories.
Cider, spiked cider is full of sugar, right? Eggnog is one of my favorite things on the planet, but it's full of fat, right? So if you're looking for some holiday cheer, especially if you're like hanging out with your family and whatever, you should, this is one of my favorite things. I drink tequila. because I like it and it makes me want to dance. And then also LaCroix. This is one of my favorite
love LaCroix.
things. Yeah, isn't it great? And they make it in about 4,000 flavors,
Yes.
so you can literally find anything. But if you mix LaCroix and a little tequila, let's make ourselves a little drink.
You got yourself a little cocktail,
Yeah.
and it's a cleaner drink.
Totally,
right?
it's much cleaner. Like, it's not calorically dense, so you can kind of mix whatever. And then also, if you're going to a party, I mean, I take a bag pretty much everywhere that I go. We'll just put a little tiny bit of this.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
So you're saying BYOB?
Yeah.
Bring your
BYOC,
LaCroix.
Bring your own LaCroix.
Got it.
Yeah, because then you can mix the mixers there with something that's not going to be full of fat, and then it's not going to be full of calories, and then you can enjoy this without having to go off the rails. So it's just little strategies like that throughout the day. Now I will have like an eggnog, but I'm not going to have like 4.
That totally makes sense.
Does that make sense?
All about balance. For more great tips from Brent, you can find him online at ironoakfitness.com. ironoakfitness.com. We'll enjoy a little cocktail drink
Cheers
to the
to the
holiday
holidays.
while Larry Sprinkle introduces